We all know the ease that comes with day-to-day use of ThinManager. Now let's focus on the security and data safety. ThinManager gives you complete control in your production environment over who sees what, where, and when. Let's take a look. Here we have a side-by-side view of our production floor with our line supervisor Jim and our control room with Phil, our controls engineer. Phil is using ThinManager to set up the packaging line terminal where Jim primarily works. Phil sets this terminal by default to show the HMI for the packaging line. This allows anyone at the line to see the HMI and current status of the packaging line. It also locks the client from showing any other data or assets without further user authentication. Next, Phil sets up Jim as a user to be able to receive the daily reports he needs as a supervisor, along with 3 applications he uses frequently on the floor as a line supervisor. Phil sets them to automatically tile on the screen when Jim logs in. With the integration of Active Directory, ThinManager displays can be set up by user, group, or role to show exactly what the user needs, when, and where they need it. He can choose one to interact with or cycle through them with a drop-down menu or hotkeys. Authentication is completed securely using methods like traditional usernames and passwords, or by using ID badge readers, or even biometric fingerprint scanners. Once Jim finishes his objective, he simply logs out and the terminal returns to the default HMI in which it started. His data is now safe from anyone else that may use that terminal. Easily and quickly take complete control of the floor. Phil, our controls engineer, has decided it would be very handy to incorporate the flexibility and mobility of an iPad for use around Jim's production line. Specifically, he wants Jim to be able to get closer to the line while viewing the HMI from the mainline terminal. For security of operations though, Phil doesn't want that iPad and HMI to be able to leave and be operational from anywhere else but the specific production line. Location-based resolvers with ThinManager can be set up using Bluetooth, QR codes, NFC, Wi-Fi, or GPS, or any combination desired to create geofences for total security when integrating mobility into your production environment. Using a small Bluetooth beacon at the production line, Phil creates a fence around the line in which the iPad is allowed to function. He can then set the iPad up in ThinManager as a terminal with the location of the Bluetooth area he has created. Once authenticated with ThinManager's ITMC app on the iPad, Jim can now scan the QR code on the terminal and transfer the HMI from the terminal to the iPad and walk over to the line for a closer look when needed. If Jim leaves the designated Bluetooth area or logs out, the HMI simply transfers from the iPad and returns to the main terminal. Now that's secure, safe, and productive. You can easily see the power of the location resolvers in ThinManager. The idea is to create a scalable and flexible production environment while still having the complete control over who sees what, when, and where. ThinManager is the easiest and most secure way to add and use mobility in today's modern factory. ThinManager, the global leader in thin client management and industrial mobility solutions. For more information on ThinManager's mobility solutions, security, or geofence protection, visit us at www.thinmanager.com.